Hi guys, thank you for joining. Am I audible? Hi. We'll start in 2 minutes. Just tell me where you guys are joining from. So I'll just decide if I want this to be in English or Hindi. Hi, namaste. This session would be probably around 40-50 minutes, so I would recommend if you want to take something out of it, grab a copy or pen and we will see how this unfolds. Hindi. Bangalore. So English or Hindi? Just write how do you like this to be? We'll take this to deeper level, so I would like if you can tell me what's comfortable for you. English, Hindi, ठीक है, English. ठीक है, we'll start. ठीक है. So what we're exploring here is Shiv Tantra. So why we are doing it? What's our objective? We'll first decide upon it and then we'll build a framework around it. Okay. So what is Shiv Tantra? Why are we doing this in the first place? So the objective is to okay, so I'm not taking any questions right now. We'll take Q&A in the end. Just stay for me for some time and see if you resonate. Okay. English. If you feel something, I can explain in Hindi afterwards, but we'll keep this in English for now. Okay. I have my laptop for my notes. Will you be saving this live? If this goes good, I'll post it on my Instagram. Okay. Objective. What's the objective? Why we are doing this? Objective is to have this non-dual awareness. Without it, a human is subjected to ignorance of his true nature. So why we are doing this? There is a process for soul to get to a liberation. Until that very thing happens, our awareness is bounded, limited to this body and mind, and we are in this duality where we go into this relative reality where we divide this into subject and object. How this affects us is basically when there is duality, there comes a fear of preserving what is ours and desiring what's not ours. So Tantra is basically not a philosophy, but it's the direct experience on energetic level. Okay. So the objective here remains to have that non-dual awareness. If we understand our body, it is not just this physical body that we see. There is more to it. There's this physical body, there's this subtle body, and there's this causal body. So there's also an energetic game that evolves around our body. It's just not what we see around. So how do we start? We start by this self-inquiry. Who am I? Taking your awareness inward. Generally, we identify ourselves with this body-mind complex, and this is what keeps us in duality and in ignorance. So the goal of Tantra is to take this energy flowing outward and shift it to inward, where you feel that non-dual awareness. We'll step in on how we're going to do that. Okay. So who am I? I am creation. I see this creation. I am creation. And then my next question is, then who is the creator? Then I come to know that creator and creator cannot be different. But then how do we see that duality? This duality is because of relative reality. So now we are inquiring, what is the deeper layer of reality? What is that thing? What is that thing who is aware of all of it? Who is that who is getting experience of all of it? Who is this watching? Who is this knower of all? Who is the knower of this knowledge? And this is not basically a philosophy. It's a direct experience, because this will be your communing with God. We will explore what God is. Tantra will take you to God. Shiv Tantra is basically, it's using the techniques given by our sages for our unfolding of consciousness to the highest level in the state where there is no difference and there is no individuality, but there is only being. And that pure consciousness is of the nature of infinite bliss. That is the goal of achieving that bliss. Until that very thing happens, there is not satisfaction. There is always a desire for something. Once this happens, all of your desire settles down and you become content in your own existence. हिंदी में बाद में ले लेंगे, अभी इंग्लिश में करते हैं पहले, ठीक है? तो this subjective object subject division is apparent. Like if I see this, there is a duality of knower and known, who is watching this and who is watching what. So this is because my energy is flowing outward. When I take my awareness inward, in an attempt for this non-dual awareness, that's when I transcend this subject-object division. How do we do that? Kashmir Shaivism maps out a map of manifestation, how this consciousness is created to matter. What Tantra does is, Tantra means technique. Tantra means pure technique. Technique of what? Technique for you to transcend this ego. Now let's understand what is ego. Now Tantra is basically taking you from this false apparent ego and merging you with that pure consciousness. How do we transcend ego? So ego is basically what a body mind complex associate itself with it. That means there is objective. If I am identifying myself with this mind, myself with this body, myself with this name, I am always subjected to this objectivity. But now when we are talking about reality, when we are talking about absolute reality, it is not relational. It will never have a duality between an object and subject. That's the scope of pure subjectivity. That is your pure tattva. That is your pure Shiv tattva. That is what we are going to attain. So what is this Tantra? Tantra is the technique where we realize our Shiv nature. What is this Shiv nature? Shiv nature is the non-dual awareness where you experience infinite bliss. And why we are doing this is a permanent effect, because after it everything changes. You will be the same person, same background, but just that your unfolding will start from another thing, and you will not be subjected to this suffering, and you won't be having any sufferings from duality, because now you are connected to that source. That's the goal. The goal is to operate from that totality. Why? Because when you do something in totality, you leave no karmas, and that is what we are here for. We are here to experience anything in totality. Tantra is the very most technique that operates on your energy levels. All of the philosophies are something of the body, something of the mind. Someone will reject desire, lust is bad, this body is bad. Tantra use all of it. Tantra does not tell you to leave this world. Tantra takes you directly from this, use everything that can comes with it. Your breath, your mind, your body, anything, emotions, relationship, anything that you can take, use it to discrete and go back to the source of pure consciousness. That is the goal, transcending the ego. You have seen the story where we saw the 5 faces of Sadashiv. I'll also open it here. So what that signifies, that is the symbolism of creation. 5 faces, 4 in the 4 direction, and 5th is the uppermost. What does this signify? Upanishad says that creation and creator are no different, but this creation is itself self-sustaining. हिंदी में बोले, we will do this in हिंदी later. बाद में इसको हिंदी में भी ले लेंगे क्वेश्चंस में, अभी इंग्लिश में करते हैं इसको, ठीक है? तो यार फ्लो टूट गया यार. हाँ, उपनिषद सेज कि creation is self-sustaining, and how do we see from that? Sadashiv is the symbolism where we see this Shiva with 5 faces, 4 in the 4 direction and 5th in the upward direction. So what does this signify? These 5 are basically the 5 cosmic functions that is said of Shiva. That is this creation, this dissolution, this sustenance, and 2 is more concealment. Concealment, that it is hidden, that God is present everywhere. It's just that it's not visible by our eyes, because He is the witness. He is the witness between us. What we see is the manifested reality, but this manifested reality is not the only reality there is. There is also a unmanifested reality, that is the source. And the goal of Tantra is to take you from this manifested reality to unmanifested reality. And how do we do that? Tantra maps out a lot of things on how we can do it. ठीक है, और देखते हैं और हमने क्या. So what is Shiv in its totality? It means the absolute unmanifest. That means unmanifested reality plus relative reality. Whatever that there is Shiv. So we are not rejecting anything, like Jainism says that we should reject these things, or Buddhism says that we should reject this, but Tantra says not here, but stay in the middle. That's what Buddhism originally was about. It's called Madhyama Marg. Not here, not there, but stay in the middle and you will attain to the bliss. What does this mean? So when we speak of energy, we say there is also vibration. There is also a state where you are in either you're in static or you're in dynamic mode. Like, are you in if you on this scale, either you can be on this -1 or you this 1, because this is what vibrating. This Tantra is about recognizing this middle static point where this movement is not there, but you are connected to the source which is in the middle, and this very singularity is your own true self. That is this thing that is not to be believed, but this is the experience where you are one with your higher self, and that's when your individual consciousness merges with universal consciousness, and that gives you lasting peace. Nothing else can remove ignorance from you until your consciousness evolves to this level. So this Tantra is basically divided into 2 things, Shiv and Shakti. Shiv is what basically the static part, what we are achieving, that's our true nature. So Kashmir Shaivism states only one thing, that we are Shiva itself, but it's just that we are in ignorance of who we are. So all of it is basically removing our ignorance to be rooted in our Shiva nature. Why? Because of lasting peace. Until that very thing happens, we are subjected to ignorance. So the next question comes, how do we do this? How do we realize that formless reality? Okay, so we said that this manifested reality, suppose this is a manifested reality, there is another point to it, that is the unmanifested reality. So we have to know this source, and once we know this source, we are in this blissful contentment. How do we find this unmanifested state is our question. How do we find that unmanifested state? Anything which takes a form is objective. Anything which takes a form is objective. But we are aiming to the formless. We are aiming for the source, where the form has not started to take place. And where does that happens? In between two manifestation, where first manifestation has finished and the second is not started. In the middle of the gap, in that very gap gives you, observing that very gaps dissolves you to the unmanifested. The silence between the thought, my thought has ended, but now second thought has not started. Can do this now. Can you think about your next thought? Can you think about your next thought? Your next thought has not started, but your first thought has finished. What's the gap between it? What's the static between it? What's the source between it? That's the Shiva nature. That's your true nature. And this is an direct energetic expression where your consciousness evolves to the highest state, and you're merged with that one universal consciousness. That is we call becoming Shiv. That is called that is the liberation. Once this happens, there is no desires of anything immaterial, because now you know where you are rooted in it. That's the tantra part. You don't have to leave this earth. You don't have to leave this house even. Whatever you can find, tantra says you can use it to reflect upon it and turn inward and find the source where it's happening, because every manifestation gap has this unmanifested reality. And that very reality is what is this witness consciousness or Sakshi Bhav. That we are rooted to that thing. But that very doorway is currently blocked. This is because we are subjected to this mental body where our karmas are stored. We have to remove it. How do we remove it? We did so many karmas throughout our life. How do we transcend this karma? Now let's understand that karma is because of doership. If I say I am the doer, I owe the karma to it. But if I say that everything that is being done is by the divine, or for the better word of it, Shiva. If everything is done by the Shiva, if when I am meditating, when I am in my deep meditation, what I am doing is I am transcending my doership from myself to my higher self. Yeah, that is Shiva. So I am transferring my doership to Shiva, and that very thing will has the potential for me to quantum jump into that vast silence where there's infinite bliss. And this very thing can be experienced in deep meditation, and this is what we are doing it. This is why I am doing it. If we are living in 2025 and if this is not accessible, I don't know why we are using internet for, if we can not use it for the right thing. This is basically every soul's journey to be on this liberation path, because unless this has happened, you will be subjected to rebirth. Why rebirth? Why are you subjected to rebirth? So let's understand, like when somebody dies, the body doesn't die. Body will merge back to the 5 elements that it is made up of. The supreme soul also never dies, because it's the watcher. Then who dies? It's the ego. So until that ego has not died before dying, actual physical death, you are subjected to rebirth. So it's a very simple concept. In Tantra, we say we pray to Shiv by becoming Shiv. That means until I attain that non-dual realization, I am subjected to ignorance. And once this happens, everything unfolds from a whole another level. And this is this concept of Shiv Shakti that operates at every cosmic scale, even the macrocosm and the microcosm. Same thing that operates in the macrocosm of how this creation started is the same thing that is happening in our body. And the goal The duality is between Shiv and Shakti, that is the static and kinetic. So the mergence is when that Shakti merges to that Shiva, and this very thing also manifests in our body. Like, what is that Shakti in us? The cosmic Shakti is called the Kundalini. Kundalini is that very primal energy in our body, and when that unfolds and when it pierces the chakras and pierces through this crown chakra, that's when you feel your non-dual awareness, when you realize, okay, now what has happened, this pran, this vital life force was also had a experiencer behind it. This life force also had an experience behind it. So now you are taken back to that very source where there's no objectivity left. There's no difference between experiencing and experiencer or experienced. Everything just becomes that one experience, and that is that non-dual awareness that we are trying to see, and that is what we call Shiv consciousness. That is the infinite blissful state. And why we are doing this? That we said that until we do it, we are subjected to ignorance. You do anything that you can do, you won't find contentment. I'll tell you, anything material is subjected to end. Anything which has a start will end. But only this very thing, only the unmanifested reality, only the source is that very thing that never dies. And that is the thing, thing that we are trying to chase, where we are trying to dissolve and finding who is the knower. Is it who is knowing all of it? Who is having this very much experience? Like, if like I am drinking this tea, example, but this very tea the other guy is also having, but we are subjected to subjective experience. What is that thing? What is this thing that creates the duality? That's the very same thing has two different reactions to it. So what is that underlying consciousness? Who is that underlying awareness? That is the goal of Tantra, on how we are transcending to it. The next question, how do we do that? So there is a book called Vigyan Bhairav Tantra, which tells you directly about how do we transcend your mind and how do we do it. In yoga, the highest state is called Nirvikalp Samadhi. We talked about how we are going to chase the formless reality. Formless, if we are identified with our thoughts, it would be with a form. But now, we have to transcend this thought into that thoughtless reality. We have to get absorbed into it. That means that very thought has to be transcended. How do we transcend mind? How do we do that? So Shiv Tantra says that Vigyan Bhairav Tantra book states a very beautiful thing. Like, our consciousness currently is fragmented in a lot of worries, that what I'll do now, what I'll do next. 50 different problems that we are subjected to. And how do we go from that 50 to 0? It's not possible directly. You can transcend from 50 to 0. So first we grab all of that 50 thoughts into that one very pure thought, and that very one thought is Shivoham. Only this mental reflection of Shivoham. I am Shiva, I am Shiva, I am Shiva. Only this. There's no two, only me, only me. That means you are expanding with it. You are combining your 50 thoughts, merging it into one, and after some time you drop this one thought also. This one very thought of being Shiva is also dropped. because then there is no difference between you and Shiva, because there is no two then. That's how you transcend from 50 to 1, from 1 to 0, and that's when you experience all of it. Until that, if I am saying that this is your reality, that this is your non-dual reality, you are in blissful state, if you just remember it, ki, okay, this guy said something that I am non-dual, so that's why I am non-dual, it won't happen. Because this path is energetic shift. I can only tell you this where pointing to the light, but the light has to be attained to you, and hence this becomes your soul spiritual progress of you finding the source. And once you do that, everything shifts. Trust me, this is the most profound experience a human can have, and everyone should strive towards it. There is a lot many technological things that we can imbibe, and that's what we are exploring here. It's been over an year that I've been researching towards it, and I want to share this very thing with you all to have my sanity on what I experienced. But this is the real purpose of life, to realize your true self. That is the goal of spirituality. There is no material thing that will give you satisfaction. Once you think that I want to have 10 crore or $1 million, you'll ask for more, because that's how mind works. Mind is always ask for more. So until you are deeply rooted into that source, you won't find satisfaction. Trust me, this is the very most important thing that you can do for your soul. Everything that you do is between food and sex. That is basically either of your body or your mind. But what do you do for your soul? The only thing that you do for your soul is your spiritual progress. And that very thing, that tantra, is a direct method which will take you. It will not ask you questions, it will straight destroy your illusion, and that very thing will give you a lasting peace. And trust me, there is a lot of yogic science behind it. This very thing of non-dual awareness has been explored over 20,000 years in India. All of the Upanishads state only one thing of that very formless reality of the God within. All of the bullshit religion that we see does not have anything to do with actual reality. Actual reality lies within you, on your unfolding. What does Tantra mean? Tantra means pure technique. Pure technique because it is the direct communion with God. ठीक है, अब इसको थोड़ा सा सटल बॉडी पे देखते हैं, चक्रास में होता क्या है. तो योर एनर्जीज is either directed outward, generally, because we are identifying ourselves with these senses. So this outward flow can be redirected as inward. That's when your life force, that's when you collect your awareness to a single point and transcend it upward. Why this upward? Whenever you are going outward, you are doing a karma. But when you are going inward, that's when you are attaching no karma to it, and you are transcending everything to the source. So this is a very direct experience. You will relate if you have meditated a little, or you know what this is. So that very same life force that flows outward has to be transcended upward. There are a lot many techniques like breathing. Breathing is the most direct thing which changes your consciousness. Like, understand this, that you have a body that is your microcosm, and you have this outer cosmos that is your macrocosm. How do you interact with it? How do you exchange energies through breath. So breath becomes a doorway to your consciousness. Like we said that when we want to observe the formless reality, that means one form has finished and the other has not started. How do we see it in breath? When you are inhaling, when you are exhaling, there is a gap between it. In Tantra, there is a technique. When you are inhaling, you stop your breath, you hold it there. When you exhale, you stop there. You are witnessing the two very opposite ends, this end and this end. When there is a balance between it, there is that very state when this dynamic pranic flow stops and there is suspension of breath. And that's when you realize, that's when you become the witness of this prana also. And that's when you see the formless reality. And this is accessible for everyone and this is everyone's birthright. Okay? And so how does this energy works here? Like we say that this dynamic flow is this pranic energy, and where there is stoppage of that energy, where that very dynamic energy becomes static, whatever static in our body, that is the kundalini, is now gets activated, and on its own spontaneous awakening it starts rising to a chakra. And when that happens, and when that very energy pierces your chakras, reaches your Agna chakra, goes behind it, and your Agya chakra and Muladhara chakra are aligned, everything to it. That means what we are doing, we are working here energetically. When your fragmented consciousness, who is having divided body, mind and soul, you take everything and integrate it, totality. So that is the beauty of Tantra. Tantra is, it does not reject anything but take everything in totality. This is what Agor also. Agor, basically that Agor word means easy. So easy, how it's easy? Because it's not rejecting anything, but it's using everything that comes with it, the thoughts, emotions, and using it to find where it is coming from, who is that very thing who is experiencing all of it. And this is basically how we realize Shiva within, and that's when you become Jivan Mukh, or that's when you feel blissful in your own spontaneous living, and you don't, because that is an energetic shift, because now that very kundalini rises and through your crown chakra and merges into your bliss body. So that drops the mental body, and now it's very easy to connect to your bliss body, and that's when you operate from blissful state spontaneously, because now you will have a lot more samadhi experiences, and you will be in 24/7 meditation. So you are with your fullest intent working on your energetic body, you are doing meditation, so that one day that very thing, that very experience happens, and then you become content throughout. You don't need anything else, because inherently you were always complete. Your nature was always complete. It's called Sat Chit Anand. Sat means truth, Chit means consciousness, Anand means bliss. And this very thing is also signified by that Sadashiv idol, the 5 faces that we see. That very thing tells us that whatever 4 is that material thing, the 5th face is that very axis that we are going after. So first thing, your spine should be straight as much as it can, because now when you're shutting off your energies, what you're doing is you're consciously raising this life force to upward in an attempt to activate this Agya chakra, and through this Agya chakra you see that non-dual awareness. And in 2025, this very thing can be harnessed with technology. And what I want to do is craft those creative contemplations, and so that you can use them in your own meditation. So there are certain techniques in Tantra which are very much helpful in elevating your this pranic energy, so that when that very energy rises, you have a bird eye view of your thoughts, because now you're detached from it. You're not seeing this reality as it is, but you're shifting your position as an observer. So this Tantra is what directly operates on your energetic body, and once your physical body and your energetic body is aligned, is when you reach to that peak of consciousness, and that's the highest state of consciousness that humans can achieve. How do we have discussed the exact meditation of how do we go to that formless reality in our past life. But this Tantra is what is the technology that was developed by our sages, but is now lost. So this is what we are reviving here. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much did you understand? If you can write. Okay. You need to publish an article on this. I have published a book on this. So this Tantra and chakras are very interesting if you visualize it, how this thing is working within you. If you need a certain level of discernment of what is right and what is wrong for you, so that you embark on this journey. Okay, what I am striving towards it, because the very expression is where attention goes, energy flows. So you have to consciously change that awareness, shift that awareness, and take it to that very thing that manifests, that gets an experience when that crown chakra gets activated. Any book you recommend? This is a good book if you want to start Kashmiri Shaivism, but it's a little complicated with Sanskrit terms. So if you are not much experience with with energetic systems, you won't relate to it. Okay, so we are stopping this live, and we will start a Q&A session. I'll post this live on Instagram. Thank you guys for joining.